What's up, gang? It's Brian B.
And Miss Megan.
From West Coast Swing Online, and today we're going to talk about what to do when we get stuck with this hand. So we have 3 moves that are going to come off this hand, but first I want to mourn the loss. What's the loss? The loss of these red shoes. They are no longer making them in these red. You can still get them, but they're called Bordeaux. I'm not happy about it, but I love the shoes. That being said, here's where we're going to get started. First thing we want to do, we can just do a sugar push to change hands to a right to left hand hold. Then we're going to do a basic free spin to get rid of that. That's what we're going to work off of for our move. But let's take a look at the whole thing. First things first, we're going to do an inside turn. 1, 2, 3, and 4 to get to that position. From there, we're going to do a free spin, taking this up and over my head. And then we're going to take this into a reverse whip. We're going to add some pivots to it. And that is going to come compliments of
Miss Emily.
Miss Emily. It's in our West Coast Swing
West Coast Swing Team routine.
All right, good. So it's based off of a free spin, but what we need to do, we're going to do this in Brian and Megan baby steps. So this hand's going to go up and over. As it clears her head, I want to drop my elbow to contact Megan's elbow. I can let go, and we're going to stay in contact. So I want you to practice that just by itself. Up and over, we contact the elbow and slide down. So that's what's going to happen in the free spin. When I'm dancing this socially, I want to make sure that I've led a free spin so that my partner's comfortable just doing that turn on her own, or his own if you're dancing with a guy. So from there, we're gonna go 1, we're gonna prep 2. I want her to be doing this on her own, right? So all I have to worry about is take this up and over. I like to drop my elbow and connect, and we're gonna slide down. One of the things that might happen there, and the tendency for the leaders, is to not pull on the follower. This is what I mean by that. Once you get this hand on her, the tendency to collect her to you is going to be high. So this is what I call like bleeding the anchor, or letting her fall back into the anchor a little bit. When we get to this 1, 2, 3, and 4, I'm going to breathe with her 5 and 6 to let her fill that out. Now from here, first things first, I want to be able to lead a free spin from that hand. So to lead that, I'm going to use a chicken wing. I'm going to let Megan talk about this arm in a second, but I'll show you once. 1, I prep. 2, I use that elbow to just lead the turn. Again, it's predicated off the fact that she's doing that turn by herself. But from this side, Miss Megan, can you talk about what you do with this arm that makes this helpful?
Yes, followers, I'm going to stay in contact with my leader's arm. When he lowers the arm, I will also lower mine. It does not mean, however, that I'm hanging on his arm. This
lets us get all these shapes, and she stays connected to this. I actually picked this tip up from a dancer in Indianapolis like 15 years ago. So when we lead 1, we prep 2. I've prepped her with what I call the chicken wing to allow her to be on that foot, and we free spin, off she goes. But we want to get where this hand goes up and over. We'll show it to you once. We'll talk about what goes on. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Now, I'm going to talk about me first, and then Miss Megan will talk about her what she does with this hand that makes it slick. But I go 1, 2. Because she's turning, she's likely to progress a little bit. I'll back out a little bit on that left foot, and then step back in and anchor step, right? So I'm going to back out slightly, and I'll let Megan talk about her footwork. So as she's turning, I'm monitoring her at this point, meaning if I did this triple in place, I might have no room. So I'm feeling how much she's moving towards me and how much she's likely to spin. I step back slightly to sneak through. But then Megan, you do something slick. Want to do this in baby steps?
Yeah, sure. So as the leader is going up and around the follower's head, I have a tendency to sneak this hand underneath to, protect my own space. But also at the end, we come down to this nice grip.
Bingo. So that will look like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So if we put the first 2 together, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So we're in this handhold. We still want to get rid of it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're just going to lead this out with a basic reverse whip ending. So reverse whip footwork. She's coming towards me on 1, 2, 1, 2. She's going to be slightly prepped towards me. I will have a tendency to back this foot out to keep on any of my reverse whips. I have a tendency, instead of cutting my foot and cross, I have a tendency to go sideways, 1, 2, so I can use the connection to go up and over 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So same path of the hand that we talked about there. We practiced it in baby steps. I contact with my elbow and slide down. So if we do that from both sides, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 of 5, 6, 7, and 8. If we do it from the other side, Ms. Megan, talk about what you do in the connection. I just noticed it when you get here. 1, 2, 3, and.
I am definitely connecting back. If you don't know me by now, get connected. All right, so you're gonna connect to this hand and you're gonna try to take your left side back in order to connect there.
That way, I don't have to pull the hand. As soon as I step around, she's gonna move. That connection is gonna be vital when we add the pivots to this. This is not the easiest way to do the pivots, but we're gonna do it anyways. Let's show the pivots first. 1, 2, 3, and 4 of 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that connection point, if I don't get it from the followers, I'm gonna have a really hard time leading the pivots. Let's get there and then we'll talk about the pivoting action. 1, 2, 3, and. It really comes from this 3 and, because as we start the pivots, if we took our footwork out of it, right? As I step across the slot, I have to pivot a half turn, zip. As she steps across the slot, she pivots a half turn, zip. And then we step and we anchor step. So we have to practice that pivoting action. Let's stop on the 3 and. 1, 2, 3 and, right? If we took this out of it, put Megan back on her foot, my footwork is 4, 5, 6. Then we anchor 7 and 8. So I have to create half pivots with my feet. So as the leader, this is 4, pivoting 5, pivoting 6 before we anchor step. Can you talk your footwork real quick?
Yes, followers. As we're going on to 4, you're going to kind of ease your way onto it. So we pivot and land for 5. But again, you're going to work your way onto it. You're going to pivot, land, and then anchor step.
So we do that all together, and then we'll put all 3 moves together. 1, 2, 3, and 4 of 5, 6, 7, and 8. So if we put all...
And we go back to a normal hand.
Back to normal hand. So if we put all 3 together, what are the 3? We have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Oh, 1, 2, 3, and 4 of 5, 6, 7, and 8. And for fun, you could pivot more than 2 beats. If they work well the first time, you could continue these pivots and anchor step your way out of the end of it. If you guys like videos like that, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, tell your friends about it, and head on over to West Coast Swing Online and just head on over there and find something that's cool, because there's lots of cool stuff. There's a resources tab, free resources tab. Click on that. It's got some of our best downloadable, helpful things from musicality, styling, spins and turns, the most helpful videos we have for all of the things that ail you on the West Coast Swing dance floor. Ms. Megan, we'll see you in the next video.